I'm going to do a timestamp. This is the Cities Events and Recognitions Committee meeting of February 17th, 2021, and we have a quorum.
Yeah, great.
Adela,
Well,
take it away. I will share screen for you.
Sounds good. Well, first of all, I'd like to acknowledge that we rest in the traditional homelands of the Puyallup people, where they make their homes and where they speak their native language. And I would like to start by approving. Sorry, it just got really small. I lost my spot. Trying to make it bigger. Hold on one second. Let me change my view options.
There, I fixed it too.
Oh, thank you. Okay, that's perfect. First of all, I'd like to start by approving our agenda from January 20th. Can I have a motion, please?
I motion to approve the agenda from January 20th.
Thank you. Can I have a second?
I second the motion to approve the meetings from January 20th.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Madam Chair, I have one thing I need to add since I sent you the wrong document earlier or yesterday. May we add approve the minutes of the special meeting on February 3rd, which are included in this document.
Oh, perfect. Okay, that sounds good. So I'll rephrase that. So so I would like a motion to approve the agenda, which includes our special meeting that we had on forgot the date already. Was it February 2nd, Kelly? February 3rd. Thank you. Can I have a motion, please?
I motion to approve this agenda with the agenda items from the February 3rd special meeting.
Thank you. Can someone second, please?
I second to approve.
Thank you. And that was
May I ask
Jessica
who
Keller.
yeah, okay, who is the motion from?
Alicia, me.
Okay, thank you.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed, say nay. Great. Agenda approved. And then the next piece of action is to approve the minutes from our meeting. Let's see here. So we're looking at the minutes. We're approving the minutes from December 16th. Is that right, Kella?
That's correct.
Okay. Can I have a motion to approve minutes from December 16th meeting?
I motion to approve them.
Thank you. In a second.
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 Stephanie Caldwell.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Okay, thank you.
Can you tell me who the motion was again?
The motion was to, or the person who motioned it?
Mm-hmm.
Alicia, was that you?
Not that last time, not for the December 16th minutes.
It was me, Rosie.
Rosie,
thanks,
thank
Rosie.
you. And then the special meeting minutes, February 3rd.
Okay, the minutes from this. Okay, one more motion, please. And this time we're approving the special meeting minutes from February 3rd. Can I have a motion?
I motion to approve the meetings from February 3rd.
That was Jessica. Anyone second?
I second. This is Alicia.
Thank you, Alicia.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Great, thank you. Minutes approved.
Oh, all right, back to the agenda. There you go.
Thank you for walking me through that. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you did great. Right.
The agenda says January 20th.
Yeah, it's supposed to be January 20th. Yeah, this is all wrong. I've just I need to bring up the right one. I'm kind of not happy with myself right now. There we go.
All of us.
That's the one. All right. Sorry, Adela. Set you up
That's
for that
okay.
one.
Oh, no, don't even worry.
Okay.
I think the January 20th one is still being shared on screen.
Oh, right. Stop share. That's the wrong one. There we go. Is that big enough for everybody to see?
Beautiful.
Good. Wonderful. All right. So the next item is staff update. Adela, would you like me to just go ahead and dive in?
Sure, that would be great. Thank you very much.
Okay. I wanted to remind you of the recruitment process and that it is coming up again, believe it or not. And I'm going to share, well, actually, I think I have it. Nope, I'm going to share the recruitment schedule that I received from the what was open? Um, gonna have to go back and open another document, you guys. Believe it or not.
By the way, for everyone on the call, Chris called us a bit ago, and looks like he has the flu. He's not feeling so well, so he's not on today's meeting, which is why we're scrambling a little bit. It's not his fault. It's just we weren't prepared to be one person short.
Yeah. All right, can you see this little spreadsheet?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, thank you. So this is the schedule that's been proposed for the next round of recruitment and interviews for 6 vacancies on this committee. The draft press release will be delivered to me March 1st, and then we'll work on revising that or approving that. And applications will be open between March 10th and March 24th. And then it goes into a review period where I do a lot of fact checking and references and that sort of thing. And then the interview date is May 11th. So there's quite a bit of time that passes, almost 3 months between when we first start the process until the interviews. And then it won't be until probably the July meeting that they will attend their first meeting, because there's some other work that happens after this. And as you may recall, then you get appointed and then presented to the council for their final approval. So I just wanted to share that with you. And what I'll do is I'm going to put all of these dates on my calendar. I just got this yesterday, and then I will send you updates on this. But what we're going to do, and Emily's going to talk about sort of the social media and plan, and this will be one of those items that goes into the social media. So like you probably saw the last time around. Any questions about that process or?
No. Mhm. Yeah, no, her mom has not responded to any of. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry, what just went on?
Somebody
Okay.
wasn't muted.
Oh, I see. Okay, I'm sorry. All right. So let me stop share that, and then I will go back to the agenda. Again, the correct agenda, I hope.
I sent her an email on the 10th, so a week ago from today. I sent her an email a week ago from today to let her know, because I think it was right after class. Mm-hmm.
Hold on a minute, please.
Mm-hmm.
I have to go back and open this document again. Documents keep getting closed on me. I'm not sure why. All right. Technical difficulties. Okay. All right. You see all that?
Yes.
Okay. Competitive funding. We do have, Tammy and I are working on a news release for the competitive funding that'll go out this Friday and some talking points. And then we will let you know what the full schedule is going to be for getting you guys oriented to using the evaluation matrix and that sort of thing over the next few months. The competitive funding applications will be live, I think I said in April. That's not, yeah. So I'll send you that schedule as well. I just wanted to give you a quick update about that. The next item, we have a guest today, Lucas Smeraldo. He's from the Office of Equity and Human Rights, and he was the instigator, or maybe his commission that he sits on, that he staffs, were the instigators of adding the Disability Advocacy Awards to the City of Destiny process. And he has a presentation. Do you have something to share on the screen, or should I share what you sent to me? Or okay,
it's all going to be vocal.
Okay, great. So Lucas is going to go ahead and talk to you about giving a special name to one of the advocacy awards. Take it away, Lucas.
Thank you. First of all, I think the commission, I'm the staff liaison for the Commission on Disabilities, and I think that they've uniformly been really appreciative of being a part of the City of Destiny Awards. I think it was a really good fit for the commissioners, and so we appreciate all of the work that is put into that and the success that we've experienced in celebrating folks that either advocate for or their organizations advocate for people with disabilities. So Lori Allison was a long-term commissioner with the Commission on Disabilities. She also worked with TACID, T-A-C-I-D, and was the liaison for helping people that are blind, and acted as both a mentor and a social worker in that capacity. We knew Lori as a tireless and passionate advocate for people with disabilities, of all disabilities, but with particular sensitivity towards people that are blind or have limited ability to see. And she in the last year and a half, she contracted MRSA, and was incapacitated to the point where she was in a wheelchair and had to navigate the world through that. Lori made a huge impact on all of us on the commission, including myself, and was literally working a week or two before her death. She passed away. I don't know all of the details about that, but what I sent to Kala was a copy of her bio that was provided for a service that was offered to her. And the reason that the commissioners have named her is because she is so endemic and emblematic of an individual who's passionately committed to this work, that we wanted to ask you to consider renaming one of the awards, the award for an individual, after Lori Allison. It gives the commission an opportunity to elevate a person whose history should not be forgotten. There's so many people, and I know that you know many people that make a huge impact on our lives and do work that is just so pure of intent and so impactful that keeping their name and their legacy alive is important. So we wanted to ask you, and again, I'm speaking on behalf of other of the entire commission that was uniformly excited about this, about renaming the award after Lori Allison, moving past 2021 into 2022 and beyond. And then perhaps we could have a few sentences that say a little bit about Lori Allison's life and her commitment to working for and advocating for people with disabilities as a way of keeping that legacy alive and vibrant. And that's basically what I wanted to share with you and invite questions, and that is it comes from the heart of all of our commissioners in making this recommendation.
I like that idea. What would be next steps, or what would you need from us in order to move that forward?
Oh, I think that the platform of the actual event, I'm not sure when you're scheduling it. I think it was in September. This year it was a little bit later because of all of the COVID concerns. But
Mhm.
I think that would be a great time to name, the individual award winner, but at some point to have a little segment, maybe 3 to 5 minutes, to announce the renaming of that particular award and maybe a few words about Lori Allison so
Yeah.
that people become aware of her. And then in 2022, that award would have a special naming, and it would still be for an individual, but it would have a special naming, and that would be with the endorsement of the entire commission.
Yeah, I think that sounds great. Does anybody else have any questions about it? Kelly, is this something that we would vote on, or what would you recommend as far as?
You can certainly ask for a motion. I have one question before you continue.
Mhm.
I want to just make sure that we know that I have it recorded correctly. This is for the individual volunteer, correct?
Yes, for the individual volunteer award. You bet.
All right. Thank you. Adela, you may proceed.
Sure, that sounds great. May I request a motion to rename our award? Is that how I phrase it?
You're asking for a motion to rename the Disability Advocate
Mhm.
Individual Volunteer Award.
Okay. I would like to request a motion to rename the Disability Advocate Volunteer Award for the City of Destiny Awards.
I motion to rename the Disability Advocate Awards.
And that was Alicia. Thank you. Do I hear a second?
I second the motion.
Thanks, Jessica. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I think some others might be muted.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say nay. Thank you. I think this sounds awesome. Looking forward to that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm really grateful.
Lucas, it's great to see you too. It's been
You
a long
too.
time.
So one thing I wanted to also add that Lucas requested that we are going to go ahead and you don't have to vote on this. It's just an administrative thing. Was he suggested that we add a preferred pronouns question in the future nomination forms for both
I like that.
MLK and for City of Destiny. And it was brought up because Dylan
Catherine.
I love that name. Goes by they and prefers they as a pronoun. So yeah, so I like that idea. I just hadn't occurred to me. Sorry, but
I think that sounds great.
Go forward with that.
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. I was actually wondering that when I was reading some of the nominations. And so I think that's excellent.
Thank you. Thank you.
Is that something that requires a vote, or is that something we can just do?
It's just administrative. Yeah.
Sounds great. Okay.
Lucas, you may stay or you may excuse yourself, but I really appreciate you giving that presentation.
Absolutely. I
Great.
appreciate the chance to be involved in this small way, and just want to thank you for making this happen every year. It makes a big difference for the folks that get celebrated and recognized. So
Mhm.
I will leave you with your family to have the remainder of the conversation. But thank you. Nice to see some familiar faces as well tonight.
Thank
Take care,
you.
Nice to
everybody.
see you.
Have a
You
good
too.
night.
You too.
See ya, Lucas.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Okay. Next item. This was officer nominations. That was supposed to be Chris's thing. So I'm not sure if anyone else had discussed the revised descriptions in the handbook that he was going to present today. Probably not. Stephanie, have you had any conversation, or Adela?
Yeah,
I
I
haven't.
have. Yeah, I'm sorry, Adela. No, I
Okay.
haven't either, so
Okay. So I think that with the traditional understanding of the roles, at this point in time, we're not going to take the nominations officially. They're going to be made at the next meeting. So if there's anybody that is interested in one of the three officer positions, you may either speak now, or you can send your interest and some of the relevant background, because I know some of you members have relevant background to this, and that would be really helpful. The three positions are chair, vice chair, and treasurer. At this time, Laura Pettit is the kind of figurehead treasurer. And she is going to need to reapply for the committee. So she's expressed interest in doing that. She may still be interested in that. But if anybody else is interested in any of those three, I know that Chris and Adela would be happy to review your comments. So
Yeah, and whoever is interested in these roles, you're gonna have a ton of our support. We just know that there are people out there who, for one thing, are better at Robert's rules than I am. But no, it's a lot of fun, and yeah, we would be here to support you. So yeah, let us know if you have any questions.
anything, anyone? All right. And I will add the nominations to the March meeting agenda. And hopefully Chris can have a meeting with with me and Adela before then, so that we can be prepared to put those forward.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So next is the subcommittee's report out. I think, Adela, we can assume that there isn't one for the member handbook review, right? Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, let's definitely go to the fundraising. And Rosie, is that you?
Yes.
Did you get my notes?
I actually did not get your notes. I have some notes though that I took.
Great. Fabulous.
I'll go ahead and start if that's okay.
Okay.
So we discussed the ideas that we had, kind of like the silent auction and having a general funding system. Those are things that we possibly cannot do with the city. So we're looking into different options. We set up in like kind of a recurring meeting. So we'll meet once a month. And we're going to be, 1 second, sorry. We're basically going to be meeting again to kind of discuss how we can creatively do fundraising for our fund. And I know someone else was there too in the meeting. I don't know if anyone wants to add to that.
I think Jennifer was there, but she was experiencing some technical difficulties. So Jennifer, did you get my notes that I sent after the meeting? No.
I thought I did. What
Oh,
notes are you looking
oh
for?
no, I'm sorry. I meant Jessica. I said
Okay.
Jennifer. I meant Jessica. Sorry, Jessica. Did you get my meeting notes from the fundraising meeting? No. Okay.
There we go. I did get them.
Oh, you did. Okay.
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
I'll make sure I resend those.
It
So-
sounds like we're just really looking to figure out how we can legally be raising money.
Yeah. Yes. And so I can summarize real quickly. Diane Hager, who works with Adam and the rest of our department, she has been doing some research with Tacoma Creates. And so we bounced around some ideas. It was purely brainstorming at this point in time, but bounced around some ideas about whether or not we can utilize a system similar to Tacoma Creates, although that is tax funded. And then I recalled a former board of directors that I used to staff, and they were an independent group, not part of the city or appointed by council. And they used to be a fiduciary and called a financial, I think it was financial pass through or fiscal sponsor. And Diane was familiar with that approach. And basically, they're an independent board, but they would report to the city events and recognitions committee and provide charitable nonprofit status, and they could accept donations, and they could possibly be tax deductible. But that is a complicated process. Alicia and Rosie, I'm sure you know, you have, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just getting to the point of being a charitable, recognized as a 501c3 in the charitable status or educational status is heavy lifting, but nevertheless, it is one option. And in the meantime, I would say that we do have, Diane also mentioned that we can ask for additional appropriation in the revenue section. So if you do get cash contributions, there is a general ledger item in my budget where we can direct those funds. And Diane's going to help me figure out the best way to increase the appropriation. Right now, it's $7,500 a year. So it's not that much farther to go to reach your goal of 10,000 the first year, right? So that's it in a nutshell. Rosie, did you have anything else that you wanted to add or correct?
No, I think you put it perfectly. So thank you for that.
Okay. Okay. I'll resend the meeting notes because then you can add them to your own.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Okay. Back to agenda. Let's see. Adele, you want to keep moving along there? So this
Sorry,
is the
Stella.
Juneteenth. Yeah, this
I
is
was
a
asking you-
Juneteenth step.
Didn't mean to talk over you. Yeah, I wanted to chat next. And Alicia, could you give us an update on like just new things to celebrate? Juneteenth, Latinx, that would be awesome.
Yeah, so the only step that we've taken, and it's totally my fault because I was swamped with fundraising things at work. And so I think what we decided is we have not met, but we have set a recurring meeting for once per month. I think it's the week before this meeting. So like the second Thursday of each month. And it's not going to be a super long meeting, but just a meeting to start brainstorming. So that's the status. And then I'll send out an email just to confirm that second Thursday so that we can get those dates on the calendar. And I know that Kala said that she would send out Zoom invites for us, which we appreciate.
We can use, it's not a public meeting, so we can use my my Zoom account.
Thank
It
you.
doesn't have to be recorded or anything. I do record them, by the way, but I don't make them public. That's only to help me with meeting minutes or meeting notes. I don't call them minutes because they don't have, you're not voting on anything. So yeah, so that should be something that happens in the next, March is just around the corner.
I know. Yeah, kind of rolling.
Yeah.
I know.
That sounds great. Thank you very much. And then I think that the next thing on the list is it's ours, Stephanie, to talk about the awardee selection process. So I can kick things off, Stephanie, but if please jump in if you have anything to add.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you.
No problem. Yeah. Well, so our subcommittee is Chris and Stephanie and me. So we got a great way to test out the new selection process in our matrix, which I really love the addition of including preferred pronouns. And so I think that's going to be awesome. And a couple of other, at least, well, I saw a couple of things to add. One thing that I wanted to talk to everybody about was the addition of if we have multiple nominators. I mean, like, I think that's something that we could put in the form too, and just use as a ranking criteria, because we did have some that got multiple nominations. And I wanted to ask you, Kala, do you want to use a few minutes now to chat about our nominees? We can go through those.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. With Chris absent, we have his scoring, but another thing, and
awesome.
Stephanie, yeah, he sent that over in email. And Stephanie, tell me if you agree, but I had asked you, Kala, if how many we have, what our limit is as far as nomination or as far as awardees this year. Because when this was a live event in the past, we were constrained by time. And so the nice thing about being virtual is we have more time and we can award more people. And so I'm wondering, do we take that advantage or do we take advantage of that, I should say, rather, and just award everybody this year? Stephanie,
if you feel like they are deserving, it's completely up to you. We've done as many as 14 on the live show, and it's a lot of work on the production and or the pre-production. But with the way things are going now, it's easier for us to get the recordings from them and also the council members. So John's not here to say no. He had to go to another meeting about the state of the city. So it's totally up to you.
I'll weigh in here and just say,
Jennifer's going to weigh in. Yeah.
My recollection is last year was 13. So I think it's fine. I mean, obviously they all need to be reviewed just for you to decide if they should get the award. Not necessarily all nominations should, but I don't know that there should be a hard limit if it's within that general realm. I think again, Kala can correct me, but this is from memory, but we've had as few as 9 and as many as 13, 14. So it really just depends on who you think is deserving of each award. And we've also had more than one in one category before. So you have a lot of flexibility.
Yeah.
Stephanie, so I wanted to turn to you because, one thing that I found when I was reviewing the profiles is that they're all amazing individuals. And the ones that were in the similar categories were quite, for example, the disability advocate category that we're going to rename were quite different, by thought equally as deserving. But I'd love to get your take on it. What do you think?
Yeah, a couple of them I had to go back and read like twice, right? There are a couple in the same category that how do you pick between the two, right? How do you, although different in what they did in their reach,
Mhm.
you decide, well, this person is deserving more than this person, because it's just amazing. I don't know how we come to that conclusion.
Yeah.
It's hard. It is. It's not an easy task.
No.
My thought would be if we could, as I to the process, as many awards that we can are allowed to give out, I think we should do it. This, our nation, our state, we went through such a horrible 2020 with this virus, that the more inspiration, the more that we can and say, hey, we see you, we hear you, to folks, the better, the better.
I agree. I agree for a couple of reasons. One is that I think seeing the impact of some of our past awardees and how pleased they were, and how they celebrated when we awarded them in the past. I mean, that in itself is just, like, I don't want to take that away from any of these people, that have been, serving the city over the past year. And then the other piece of it is that I was rating everybody with a civil impact really high. And that was, but then when there's the group that the horticulture, I can't even say that word, horticulture group at the zoo. And I'm like, but why would I rate, I mean, they make our park beautiful. I mean, like, why am I taking that away? And so, like, it's such a subjective thing. I feel like, I really agree with you.
Question. First of all, I wanted to apologize. I'm a hot mess. I didn't put that you were going to vote on the slate of awardees today, and Jennifer just sent me a text saying, "Aren't we going to vote? Are they voting on this today?" Because that is crucial to the.
We can wait. Oh yeah, we can wait.
What? Huh? Well, we're hoping that you do vote on this tonight.
Okay.
And everybody has had a chance. Everybody on the committee has had a chance to review all of the nominations, whether they chose to do so or not. I know that the three of you have done so, because I know that you've been talking amongst yourselves. And then Stephanie actually sent me everything that she had worked on. But I didn't receive anything from anybody else. So you might want to open it up to discussion. And if you would like, I could go in and pull up maybe the spreadsheets for each one of them if there are questions. But I would leave that to you, because the expectation of the whole committee would be that you propose the slate of awardees based on your own ranking and rating, and that the rest of the committee would say, we trust you. Sure. Let's move forward. However, if they have questions about the slate, I can pull up the nomination matrix.
Yeah.
That sounds like a mini movie, doesn't it? With Keanu Reeves.
What about if we use, because Stephanie's form was so much nicer than Chris's or mine. Stephanie, is it okay if we use your form to share and put that up so we have everybody's names and categories? And then if it's all right with you, Stephanie, we could just give a quick verbal blurb, kind of go through them really quickly and
oh yeah, sure.
Okay, that'd be awesome.
Use the latest one, because what happened was, in my absent-mindedness and all the emails, I missed two of the folks and had to go back and reread them. And I sent the files to Kala this morning or yesterday and revised my total. So make sure you're using this copy.
Okay, so you want me to go in and find and pull that up? Okay, I'll go into my email and find that. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, that sounds good. Well, while you're doing that, I mean, if it's okay, we can get started, and I'll take the first one, and we can just give a little bit of a blurb on some of these individuals, because I think talking about some of this great work that they do, it's going to take some time. But we had, I believe it was so Stephanie, hold me accountable here. I think one nomination for equity and empowerment, which was Dwayne Joseph. And
Correct.
Lieutenant, okay, thank you. Yeah, and Lieutenant Dwayne Joseph was actually nominated by Lucas, who is with us today, just a bit ago. And so Lieutenant Dwayne Joseph recently retired, has dedicated his life to service and supporting the advancement of Black people in law enforcement and to help build a police system driven by equity. As a passionate advocate for racial equity, he, let's see here, he represented the Tacoma Police in the Bloomberg Group work project, the Government Alliance for Racial Equality cohort team, the Project Peace Youth Dialogues, and also trained the Equity 101 Facilitator Professional Development Series. He served as the first and only Black union president for Local 6 for 2 terms, which was 6 years. He led the TPD's hiring unit to 47% diversity hiring in 2018. He assisted HR in introducing equity questions to the entry level and to the lateral applicant process for TPD. And he attended listening sessions for African Americans for City of Tacoma employees. So all this work has helped lead to the development of the Tacoma area Minority Police Association that was started by Black TPD department members. And as a member and caring volunteer, he's been a past Big Brother. He's been a volunteer for Pink Tacoma, Bacon Bowl, Shop with a Cop, Law Enforcement Youth Camp. He's volunteered as a youth basketball coach and Toys for Tot, as well as the Tacoma School District school equipment donations. He spent over 30 years in the Tacoma Police Department, has stood for equity and fairness for all and against racism and bigotry, hate, discrimination, and systemic racism. And so Lieutenant Dwayne Joseph is amazing, essentially, and he's definitely someone that we need to recognize. And Stephanie, do you mind switching on and off? Would you like to take one? Are you prepared to do that? Otherwise, I can keep going.
Do you want me? I can take disability advocate.
Sure.
And this is one that we are changing the name, correct?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And it's
there's 2.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
There's 2. There's one that's a professional category and one that is a volunteer category. So they're specifically called out. So the volunteer one will be the one that's renamed, and I can't remember which one is which here. But I'll do a little checking.
Okay, so let's start with. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, yeah, because they're both named Tony. I was gonna be like, it's Tony, and I'm like, oh, they're both. Anyway, sorry. That's all.
Let's see. Well, that's good to know that it's a voluntary. So disability of advocate volunteer would be Anthony Caldwell. This is his nomination. This is the volunteer nomination. And this is the one we're changing the name for. So we should correct that on the sheet there. And full disclosure, I'm always amazed when someone has my last name. I don't know him. So,
okay. Great.
So Mr. Caldwell has been a volunteer advocate for people in his South End community and for people with disabilities for several years now. As a member of the Tacoma Art Commission on Disabilities, Tony led efforts to identify intersections and locations in the city that are inaccessible to people with disabilities, often taking photos of inaccessible push button crosswalks and other obstacles and bring to the light with public works. This led to several enhancements. Mr. Caldwell integrates this work with the mission of the South End Neighborhood Council and recently partnered with the city to distribute 500 COVID masks to people with limited mobility and access to essential workers, which is phenomenal. He can work, his work can be quiet and personal as well. Tony is supporting an elderly woman with limited mobility to provide her needs, including shopping, carrying out errands and chores and maintenance around the house. So Mr. Caldwell leads, I'm kind of just paraphrasing some of this. Mr. Caldwell leads by quiet example and is a true force for thoughtful outreach and community voice.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I'll do, sorry, Stephanie, did you say something?
Are we gonna change the, separate those two then, Carla? So Anthony would be the new name, and then Tony would be the disability professional? Or is the new name for both volunteer professional?
No, this is, so the one that Lucas was presenting on would be, can you see the list, your list up here?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so I put volunteer for Anthony, and that's the one that's gonna get a name change in the new.
Awesome. Okay. I just wanted to make sure we were clear about that. Mainly me. Okay, cool. Okay,
That's fine.
go ahead, Adele. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Thanks. And so Tony Hester is our professional disability advocate. He's a force for understanding and action, meeting the needs of students with disabilities at Tacoma Community College. He's a program specialist for e-learning. He has expansive expertise in assessing online tools that are particularly critical for people who are blind, have hearing disabilities, and have fine motor issues that can prevent them from tapping into learning platforms that exist at the community college. He supplements his understanding with a deep understanding of the law as a paralegal, and he wants to bring the legal expertise into his training towards becoming an attorney and integrating ADA law with equal and full access to all learners of every ability. Tony is well known in disability advocacy networks. He's a standing member of the Pierce County Accessibility Community Advisory Committee, which is designed to partner with organizations that pilot these access programs, particularly around transportation options for people with disabilities. In the fall of 2020, he joined the Tacoma Area Commission on Disabilities, and he spoke to the needs of the blind across Tacoma and Pierce County. He has already volunteered to do beta testing of city websites to determine if they're accessible to blind users. And what informs all of his work is a deep generosity of spirit, which continually puts him in places where he can serve others. In 2018, he was awarded with the Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion Leadership Certificate, and he most certainly embodies these principles in every circle of which he is a part. And I love this. It says, Tony literally changes every room he is in, either in person or virtually, and with every partnership, more around him become aware of the unique needs of the blind and those with disabilities, and are compelled to take the next step to improve systemic access, which is something on our matrix. Like, did they
Yes.
inspire others? So super cool.
Yeah, yeah. So now we'll move to the lifetime category, and there was only one. Bill Barsma. So I'll skip down to the work within the community, but it started out just to give us a background of when he was born and raised in Tacoma, and his academics and his professional career. But the meat of it really starts in 1991. Bill was elected to the Tacoma City Council as an at-large council member. Since the council position was part-time, he continued his career at UPS, where he established a public administration program. While on the council, among numerous other policy issues, he was involved in efforts in 1997 to develop and implement new regulations pertaining to billboards and action that was recognized and supported by the U.S. Conference of Mayors. In 2001, Bill retired from UPS upon being elected Tacoma's 38th mayor. He was re-elected as mayor by an overwhelming margin in 2005 and served through 2009. During Bill's term as council member and mayor, Tacoma participated in the successful completion of the Museum of Glass, Tacoma Art Museum, the restoration of the Union Station, the Murray Morgan Bridge, the Seaport Museum, the Alberts Mill, and the environment cleanup of the Foss Waterway in a circle. The University of Washington Tacoma became a 4-year undergraduate institute during his tenure as mayor. During this period, Tacoma has constructed the largest municipality-owned telecommunications system in North America, the CLIC network. He served as an elected officer with the Association of Washington Cities and was also an active and contributing member of the National League of Cities. While he served as mayor, Tacoma was ranked in 2004 among the top 30 most livable communities in an annual survey conducted by the Partners for the Livable Communities. He also mentored numerous community leaders and politicians. In 2006, he traveled to Lethlow. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. He traveled World Vision overseas as an ambassador of Tacoma, and to advocate for maybe it's Lao, as advocate for Tacoma residents to sponsor AIDS orphans and caregivers of AIDS victims. Bill also served on 2 Tacoma chapter review commissions and the city's 1980 redistricting committee. He was a member of the Mayors Against Illegal Guns Coalition, a bipartisan group with the stated goal of making the public safer for getting illegal guns off the streets. The coalition was co-chaired by then Boston Mayor Thomas Mino and the New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg. During this time on the council as mayor, Bill proposed and led numerous projects and programs that made our city a better place. In his retirement, he continues his life of public service as a volunteer with numerous nonprofit organizations and causes in our community, and as a board member for several nonprofits, including Citizens for a Healthy Bay and Graduate Tacoma. Currently serving as president of Tacoma Historical Society, and for the last several years, his leadership of the organization has taken it to new levels. He's highly regarded as a public speaker on local political history and local history in general. He is frequently requested to be a speaker on Tacoma history by many groups and organizations. At this board, as THS board president, he has advocated for several community causes, including efforts to preserve the 11th Street Bridge, the Elks Temple, and Tacoma's Holy Rosary Church. The past year, Bill has led the organization as board president through the COVID pandemic, as it has developed innovative programming to adapt and respond to those challenging times. He and his wife, Carol, live in Tacoma's North End. And truly, you can tell this is a lifelong community member who has made his community his work.
Mm-hmm. I'm just always amazed. I mean, like the places that we go visit, like the things that were like, like the bridge. I mean, like we get to recognize the people responsible for those things. I went to Holy Rosary, like a bunch of us, we were really heartbroken.
Yeah.
The church was closed. So I mean, it's just phenomenal stuff. So cool.
Cool.
Dylan O'Catherine is the next one. And so she's one of the youth categories. Which category is that? Youth leader. Dylan,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, not she, they, Dylan O'Catherine. And Dylan O'Catherine served on the Mayor's Youth Council, where they made a name for themselves as passionate advocate for young people with disabilities. Dylan has been diagnosed with invisible disabilities, making them more sensitive to the lived experience of others. As a Tacoma, I think it's Tacoma Commission on Disabilities, I think that's what TACOD stands for, commissioner, Dylan has led the efforts to work with Tacoma Public Schools to advocate for the needs of youth with disabilities and learning differences. As a result of this advocacy, the Tacoma Commission on Disabilities and the school district are now working together on a joint committee to create resources and trainings to help teachers, parents, and students understand the unique needs of students with disabilities across the full spectrum of needs. And they're going to create an educational video. It'll include interviews with students with disabilities and their with the parents and teachers who support them. And it'll be part of a youth-led professional development seminar for teachers that will help these educators to develop a better understanding of how to partner with and engage these students with both visible and invisible disabilities. And so these efforts can enhance the autonomy and the dignity of students with disabilities and learning differences that have often been marginalized or who have experienced unintended condescension, I don't know if that's the right word, condescension and harm. Again, just amazingly impactful.
Okay, another youth leader was Kelsey Monaghan Bergson. I might have butchered her name. I apologize about that. But when I read this story, I tell you the truth. This is, I don't know if I thought that way when I was in high school. Probably not. I don't think I was even there. But prior to March 13, 2020, the days were pretty routine. Most students at Wilson High School. For some students, though, normal means going hungry. Marine Corps JROTC cadet Major Kelsey Monaghan Bergson quickly discovered that disparity the day a fellow student asked her if she had extra food that she can share with him. He went on to tell her that his parents were having issues at home and there was not enough food to feed the entire family. He had been resorting to eating one meal a day so that his siblings would have enough to eat. Kelsey was fortunate enough to have the funds to purchase a meal and several thereafter for this student. Upon further investigation, listen to that. Upon further investigation, that means she had to intentionally seek out this information. Kelsey discovered that this was a systematic problem at Wilson High School. Students and their families were going hungry and having difficulty accessing services. She had discovered that many students had a longing for a positive family environment. Kelsey knew that as a leader in JROTC, she and her fellow cadets could provide that positive family environment and proceed to do so with a series of measures. That was until March 13, 2020, when school was closed. When that happened, Kelsey knew that the safety net for many of these students would no longer be there. That's when she decided to open up her own food bank for students and families in the Wilson High School area, although anyone was welcome. With her own funds, she purchased a plastic storage shed, placed it beside her by the side of her house. Then she stocked it with food and called it Pantry 253. Kelsey then sent out a number of food drives to keep the pantry stocked. The concept was simple. Take what you need, contribute what you can, 24/7. No questions asked, no set hours or screening like other food banks. There had been such a demand that Kelsey was spending up to $500 a month of her own funds to keep the pantry stocked. Eventually, word spread and food and monetary donations increased. I don't need to tell you the pain and suffering people are experiencing as a result of the pandemic. Hunger has been the rampant part of this suffering. We read about it every day in the newspaper and hear it on the evening news. Kelsey believes that food is a right that everyone should have, and that no one deserves to go hungry. She does not ask for names or keep track of visits. It's all anonymous. She does know that she has helped literally hundreds of families. Many have told her, while wrecked with tears, that they would have starved if it were not for Pantry 253. While school is not physically in session, Kelsey continues to worry about the well-being of her fellow cadets, including many of other students at Wilson High School. Who is this person? This is me. To keep students engaged, she implemented a program entitled Are You Faster Than a Jarhead, involving 8 schools in Pierce and Kitsap counties. She found that the running gave the students a sense of purpose and a feeling of connectiveness. Kelsey hoped this one-day event continues the basis for future endeavors to ensure that cadets are continually connected. She has personally run over 1,000 miles beyond since the inception of the program, leading by example, of course. Kelsey acts of kindness speak volumes about her leadership skills. By giving a voice to those who cannot speak, she demonstrates that she is a compassionate leader with the necessary empathy to inspire the voice of those who cannot speak. empathy to inspire understanding and knowledge in her fellow classmates. Her goal is to guide, acknowledge, and support her platoon to combine their efforts, skills, and talents, passion, enthusiasm, and commitment to work together for the greater good of Wilson High School community. Peter Drucker once said, leadership is lifting a person's vision to high heights, the raising of a person's performance to a higher standards, the building of a personality beyond its normal limitations. This totally epitomizes Cadet Major Kelsey. There is no doubt that at the age of 17, she has already left on the world. Kelsey has received an appointment to the United States Air Force Academy, and I look forward to seeing what Kelsey continues to do in the future to make this world a better place. I have no doubt.
Yeah. And this is why you have her in 2 categories on the sheet, because she deserves 2 awards.
She deserves, yeah.
No, she should be in the leader. I think that she might have been nominated in the youth service category, but I'm not sure.
Let me look.
That's okay.
Oh, okay.
And that's okay. That's okay if you move somebody to another category. That's your prerogative. You may do that. I mean, I think this is perfectly appropriate.
No, I definitely think it should be the youth leader.
Yeah. Yeah.
And not the youth service. Yeah. Yeah. Did everyone agree with that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Can you guys hear me okay? I switched my headphones.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, this is the witching hour with my dogs where they start to go crazy. So sorry if you can hear them. But and I wanted to take a break here. You know, like you're all listening to this, you know, and you know, I wanted to see, does anybody have any questions or any comments? You know, I just want to make sure it's, you know, this continues to be interactive, but want to share like all these amazing people with you too. Well, feel free to interrupt us if you do, but and so this is and Jolie and Logan for youth services that I'm going to talk about. So this one spoke to me. I mean, I am a total Northwest tree hugger and animal person, and I love these kids. Okay, so and Jolie has volunteered at the zoo since 2016. She's, I mean, like basically both of them have progressed. I mean, they've gotten more and more responsibility and bigger titles. She has a lifetime total, where did it go, of 604 hours of volunteering at the zoo. These are high school people. And Logan also has, so he has lifetime hours listed as 657 hours. Not just volunteering at the Pacific, at the Point Defiance Zoo and Aquarium, but let's see here. So and Jolie started a letter writing campaign to advocate for sustainable products in big box stores like Costco, Target, and Walmart that specifically don't destroy primate habits. Logan has been a leader in planning the Youth Ocean Conservation Summit, as well as the Orcas Love Rain Gardens work group that went out in October to restore rain gardens for Tacoma Public Schools. He's assisted in filming for Wildlife Champions program at the zoo. I wanted to skip around a little bit because you know, these are all really long, but I wanted to, let's see here. So they highlighted what you can do to help reduce the use of single plastics and the benefits to ocean conservation. So in my mind, they're not just impacting Tacoma and the zoo, but I mean the entire Northwest. But Logan is the lead. Logan is the lead in the 2020 Virtual Youth Ocean Conservation Summit. It's usually in partnership with the Seattle Aquarium Youth Volunteer Team, but due to reduced staffing at the Seattle Aquarium, Logan took the lead role of continuing the event. And so it's scheduled for later this spring, and his leadership role in the summit will allow the summit to reach youth throughout the Puget Sound region beyond Tacoma. Super cool.
Is it the horticulture group next?
Yes.
Okay. So I was a little thrown off by this. For some reason, I was thinking singular award. I didn't realize that you could do a group award for individuals, but this is a group award made up of, 1, 2, 3, 4 volunteers. So on this, the volunteer horticulture team at Point Defiance Zoo and Aquarium is amazing. This dedicated team of volunteers stepped up to help PDZA catch up on the maintenance of the needed to be done on grounds after 93 days of being closed to the public with few staff members. Larry, Tony, Caitlin, and Scott always arrived each week enthusiastic and willing to tackle anything needed, no matter the weather. During the past months, with full-time staffing reduced, these volunteer teams have been instrumental in maintaining the PDZA's 29 acres of landscape and horticulture collection to very high standards. Collectively, this group can be counted on to notice many of the smallest details around grounds needing attention, from plants exhibiting unhealthy symptoms to weeds needing to be removed. All of this is essential to maintaining excellent plant health and creating beautiful grounds for our guests to experience. Collectively, they contributed 320 hours of service from July 15th through December 31st of 2020. Our horticulture staff are grateful for their passion in creating an amazing botanical experience here at the zoo, one that is increasingly recognized throughout the Northwest as a destination for plant lovers to visit.
Yeah, awesome.
Can I offer one observation about that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Since I work with Metro Parks really closely, and of course, the Point Defiance Zoo and Aquarium are part of their properties, I know that 78% of their staff were let go when early in the pandemic, hoping that they could hire them back because it wasn't going to take that long for the pandemic to fizzle out, right?
Mhm.
And so they're replacing, you know, non-union, of course, but they're replacing some of the maintenance staff, which was down to like 3 people at one point in time for the whole city. So I just think they're
All
amazing.
volunteer, yeah, that is.
All volunteer, yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, well, this is another one. So, okay, so I'm going to talk about the ILWU. So this is the Longshore Union and Longshore Workers Union. And this is another one where I'm just blown away. And so, yeah, so this is recognizing the spirit of community activism. And let's see here. So the entire membership of ILWU Local 23 rose to the challenge when it came to the importance of continuing our social responsibility of giving back to communities. This was during the pandemic. This year, last year, they broke their record for giving as a local, raising and donating over $196,800 to local charities, community groups, and other organizations in need. So some of the highlights are $100,000 to Pierce County school children. And let's see here, where is it? 3 students in need from every elementary school in Pierce County were selected, and their families were each given a $200 gift card for holiday expenses. $51,499.99, very specific, but was raised from actives and pensioners due to the toy drive. They partnered with 16 different community groups and purchased toys, clothing, games, etc. to brighten Christmas for nearly 1,000 kids. $13,653 was donated by members of St. Leo's Food Connection, $7,000 to Mary Bridge Foundation Toys for Kids Holiday Drive, $5,000 to PLU's People Gathering to promote racial inclusion, dialogue, and diversity in the workplace, $3,500 to Alex's Lemonade Stand Foundation, which raises awareness and supports families with kids in the hospital, $2,500 to Nourish Pierce County for local food banks, $1,500 for the MS Walk, $1,000 for Yelm Community Schools Thanksgiving Turkey Drive, and $1,200 to the Tacoma Schools Summer 253 Jobs Program. In addition, they supported programs like the Buffalo Soldiers, which, by the way, if you haven't gone, you should go check it out. And just a ton of stuff. I mean, just amazing what these people put together. I had no idea that. I just blown away.
Yeah. That one thing I wanted to point out is that I'm sure the guy that submitted the nomination is sort of like an actuarial type of person. Nicest guy in the world, by the way. I just want to tell you that right now. Nicest guy in the world. But he put everything in terms of the dollars, but I have to tell you that these people don't just raise funds and then distribute the funds. They actually like interact with the people who they are raising the funds for. And so I'm looking forward to, I got about 3 pictures from them, but I'm looking forward to some like really great photograph ops with them. So thanks.
Cool.
Quick question, did they create this themselves? These were just a group of people that worked together and decided to create a team to raise money, or how did this come about?
Yeah, well, so it's a labor union, and I don't know if you know a lot about the Longshoremen's Union, but they're very, very much involved in the communities in which they live and work. And so they're a Pierce County-wide donor. And so I remember they used to do this thing where they would have a giant picnic out on one of the properties out on the I always still call them the tide flats, but out on the port. And they haven't been able to do that this past couple of years. But I think what they decided to do is really all of their pensioners. So those are the past active members who are now retired, and a lot of them are part of this volunteer group. And then also active people who are actively working, and are members of the union. And they're just a really tight knit, and they still call themselves a brotherhood, but there are women that work in this industry as well. And it's part of their national charter to give back to the community. So there's a pretty, if I sent you everything, I think, it's worth it to just go and look and, sort of understand what these groups are doing. This is why this committee is so cool, because you get to award these people for this stuff. And so
right, that's just, all of these stories have been lovely, but like that just really got to me. Just people organizing themselves to make a change is important.
Yeah.
I can add that they sponsor a lot of my nonprofit clients' events also. A lot.
Yeah. I heard Nourish in there. That's at least the one I recognize. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Quabi and Waforson. So how many of you heard of the Peace Bus? Most people have. Yes? No?
Yeah, I have. I met with him today, actually.
Oh, you did? And full disclosure, I know this family quite well and have been just so proud of Quabi and the work that he's done. And it comes from his upbringing, his mom. She's just a godly, fearing woman who loves people in general. We'll give you the shirt off her back. If you were walking down the street and she saw you, you needed a shirt, she'd give it to you. That's just how they are. But I'll start with his beginning of 2019. Quabi bought a 1988 Mitsubishi van. I call it a Volkswagen van, and named it the Peace Bus, painted bright baby blue with the words "the Peace Bus" on the side. He began to use the vehicle to distribute socks to those experiencing homelessness in the city of Tacoma. In the spring of 2019, the media was in a frenzy about the immigration crisis and the major atrocities that were taking place in detention centers all over the country and at the Mexican border. Quab and I had an idea to take the Peace Bus to the border of Mexico and interview Border Patrol about the immigration crisis and to reveal the truth behind it all. This massive peace campaign was called the Peace Bus, Journey to the Mexican Border. He assembled a team of 3 to go with him, and with the help of the people of Tacoma and donations from around the country, the Peace Bus embarked on a journey of a lifetime to the border of Mexico in August of 2019. Quabi as a team and his team stopped in major cities along the way to give socks and blankets to those experiencing homelessness. After having an incredible opportunity to interview San Diego Border Patrol officers, as well as educator and nonviolence Michael Nagler, Kwabi came back to Tacoma, where he shared the entire experience online. A local news station, heard about the Peace Bus journey and began to publicize the humanitarian organization. During the fall of 2019, Kwabi took the Peace Bus to schools in Tacoma area to talk to kids about nonviolence, kindness, compassion, and what it means to show peace. In December of 2019, Kwabi brought, world peace. I'm sorry. In December of 19, in response to the local tent ban in Tacoma, Kwabi again distributed socks to those experiencing homelessness. Throughout the winter of 2019, Kwabi and team of filmmakers began filming the Peace Bus with Kwabi Kids TV pilot show, a show filmed in Tacoma, written and created by Kwabi. The show was created to help educate kids about poverty, homelessness, incarceration, hunger, and how they can help with the environment. He was hoping to pitch the show to PBS, but it's something he is still working on. Why Kwabi Person should be considered for the City Destiny Award. Let me scroll down here. Oh, why am I losing my space? Forgive me, y'all. Did I lose my space? Oh, in January 2020, Kwabena was invited to be a guest speaker at the MLK Jr. ceremony. In his speech, he talked about love, compassion, poverty, homelessness, and unity. In spring of 2020, Kwabi created the Peace Bus Breakfast Fund and began distributing breakfast to families in need who were being affected by the school closure due to the coronavirus outbreak. The Peace Bus Breakfast Fund mission was to ensure that no child in Tacoma would go without breakfast during the quarantine. With the financial help of kind individuals and organizations, he was able to give breakfast cereals to over 300 families. He took cereal boxes to the families before and after work and on weekends. On October 2020, he started a monthly kid comic strip based on the Peace Bus show. He is the writer and the illustrator is Anthony Wallace. Themes of the strip include love, compassion, and working together. He continues with his own Instagram and launching a campaign to buy Christmas presents for kids with families who are struggling economically due to job loss or low income due to COVID-19. He invited kids in Greater Tacoma area to send letters about what they have done throughout the year to promote love, joy, and compassion. The kids could request a $50 gift certificate. He received many amazing letters. One kid stated in their letter that they didn't want a gift for themselves, but wanted a gift for their mom, who worked very hard to help the family. So I guess the long story short of it is that Kwabena, the Peace Bus, has helped families, over 200 kids in the Tacoma and surrounding areas. That's it.
So Adela, can I just take a moment? I don't want to lose anybody before you have an opportunity to ask for a motion. We've got a quorum at this moment. I think Stephanie, Alicia, Rosie, well, Adela has to ask for the motion. Jessica, Stephanie. Yeah, so is there anyone out there? I put something in the chat, but sometimes people don't look at the chat while they're so listening so intently to what's being said. But is there anyone either on staff or committee members that have to leave? Jennifer has a hard stop at 5:30, but she doesn't get to vote, so.
I have a meeting that's running about 20 minutes late, so I probably have until about 5:45.
Okay, anybody else?
Yeah, I have till 5:30.
Okay, so Adela, what I would suggest you do is you ask for a motion to accept based on the quality of the what you've read to the committee members so far, that you ask for a motion to accept this slate of awardees, and then we can move on quickly to our communications staff, because they probably need to leave soon too.
Yeah.
If that's okay with you, I'm just making a suggestion.
Sure, definitely. Yeah, well, yeah, let's do that. I'd like a motion to approve to approve our awardee list for Tacoma City Destiny Awards.
I move to.
And that was
Rosie,
in a second, please.
I second to move the award nominees.
Thanks, Jessica. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Great, thank you.
all right. And so Jennifer's going to leave the meeting up, and then when we're done, I'll send her a text because she has to go to another meeting. All right, let me stop sharing this. Thank you for your reading, ladies. That was great.
Yeah, it's just such awesome people. Thank you all for listening.
Yes, thank you so much.
So that was really nice to get to hear.
I know.
Participation was nominated, so thank you.
You know the good news we can get these days.
Yeah. So under the item of communications, Adela, we have Tammy and Emily, and I know Emily's got some things she wanted me to share for you. Are you still there, Emily?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay,
Yes,
how's
I am,
how's
Emily.
your time?
I got no plans.
Oh, me either.
Can't do much, so.
Let me stop sharing this. I had to go in there and like look at what am I supposed to be doing. So let's see. I've got your social media content calendar, and I have your social media plan. What would you like me?
Start with the calendar.
Oh, it's colorful.
I like the colors.
Let's see. Here's February. Okay. And I apologize. I was going to get that stuff to you today, but then for some reason there were meetings all day long, weren't there? So yeah.
It do be like that.
I know.
Do be like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to present a draft of a social media calendar I put together for TVE, and thank you, Jessica, for getting back to me. I agree about Excel. I'm trying to figure out a way that we could share it, whether that's moving it to like the Google spreadsheets to where it's available for everyone. But this is just what it would look like. Have everything broken down by month and have color codes of what items we would post. So I just kind of filled it up with some TVE info and some Cerc and just a little bit of this. I'm not too familiar of what's coming up as far as what dates and when the awards are. Yeah, I just wanted to go over it with you guys. It goes until December. The plan would be to update it at least every week, if not opening it, daily. And if you click to the next tab, the TVE Weekly, it's right next to yeah, that'll break it down by each day, like with suggested text. So like a little text of us welcoming people to our page, like, hello, we're here, and then introducing the TVE team. And then I think for like if you guys would come up with suggested content and we could just plug it in there, or if it's a shared calendar, you guys would be able to plug it in yourselves.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's great.
That's
Great
super cool.
startings.
This is beautiful. I love this. And this is Emily, thank you, because this is the opposite of what I have. Like my calendar is so more like generic social media just to keep content going, and I guess I'll have to ask Kella how I share that with people. But I went in and like started looking at dates of just things that are generic to Tacoma and things like in social media in general that we can be sharing. And
yes.
same idea with like, here's an idea, let's create a post or a picture, or this is what we should share, or ask for a call to action. The one thing I started getting a little bit, I don't know, wrapped up around was when it really does start to coming to promoting, you know, we really talked about doing Juneteenth and things like that. And how do we promote that and promote it throughout the year and just more cultural awareness. I feel like, I don't know if we have to have a meeting for that, or we as a subcommittee kind of go around that, just because it's hard to decide what we should give energy and attention to, and what could kind of just not laid to rest, but you know, doesn't need that much attention.
No, I
So
get
is
it.
that, so are we allowed to start the Google Calendar like this? I love this format. It's perfect.
I think yes, for the subcommittee, absolutely. It wouldn't be something that you would, it wouldn't be something that would contain things that you have to make decisions on as a committee, okay? That would require a quorum. So you would want to be careful about that. But otherwise, there isn't any reason not to. And I think it would make sense for you to, you know, either start that, or I don't know if Emily knows how to do that. I certainly don't know how to use Google Calendar. I'm an Outlook person all the way. So, yeah.
And Emily and I were discussing, I mean, we've used both, I think. But I feel like Google's a little bit more accessible.
Okay. So what I'll do, what I promised to Tammy and Emily earlier this week was that I would send the actual dates, or target dates for certain postings, and the content sort of name. So in other words, announced City of Destiny Award winners would happen in probably as soon as we can get in touch with all of them. It would happen in March, let's say. And so I'll put a date on there. I'll put a holding, you know, the item name, that just like Emily has done here. And that will be the start, and I'll do it for the whole year. And that'll be the start
that'd be perfect.
That'll be the start of the things that are obvious to us and that are the responsibility of the committee. They include things like in mid-May, we'd announce the City of Destiny premiere date, because we'll know by then. We might put something up there about 4th of July, but that's not your bailiwick. That's just part of TVE. The June 19th or the Juneteenth event, we can put that on the calendar for when you want to do something about it, announce it, or, you know, talk about doing a takeover or something like that. Let's see, we always announce the MLK nominations are open. We announce the MLK keynote speaker when that's decided on. I'm going to announce, let me go back to coming up real soon. I'm going to announce the recruitment for new committee members. Let's see, and then I added something, maybe this is a monthly thing, but special messages from you as city events and recognitions committee members. So if you have something special, whether it's about Tacoma Ballet, or it's about the Courthouse Square, or it's about Rosie's, you know, organization, or some other organization that she's familiar with in Tacoma, this is where you would probably do like a short video of yourself talking about that thing, if you're willing to. And then we'll also put in there, and I'll go back to my old calendar, but we'll put in there when the city line appearances are going to be happening. You'll put an announcement on there for when you guys are on city line as well. So those are just some of the things that I can get some real dates for to start the calendar. And I have it on my calendar to work on it this week.
No, I love it. All
Calendar
the things that
work
we
on my
know.
calendar.
All the things that we know in advance that we can plug in. Like, I think I've put in most of the major holidays. I did put down Juneteenth on there just so we had it. But yeah,
Okay.
it'd be really helpful. And I did put on there looking to launch maybe on Monday. But actually, Kelly, you mentioned you're releasing something about competitive funding this Friday. I think that would be something that we could probably share on social as well.
Yeah.
If you're able to send some info over.
Oh yeah, no, we totally want to
posting
do
on
that.
Friday, and then
That's my
have it-
other big thing that I have to do this week. I forgot to put on my list of things to do.
You're good.
I have to create the application form, and I have to, yeah. Anyway,
I believe
don't
you.
worry about me. That's why I'm a hot mess tonight. Okay.
I really
Oh,
love
nice.
this. I think this is a great place to start, and we can fill it in as we go and kind of pull from things that are important. And maybe we spend that whole week kind of posting and talking about City of Destiny Awards or whatever the the situation may be. Yeah, I love it. I think
That's what we
And
were
then-
going for. As long as Jessica loves it, as long as Jessica's happy, we're all
yes.
happy.
We did it. And the other doc I sent to Calla was just bullet points of like content ideas and then who we can ask to help share it. It's not as extensive as the Excel, but I just wanted to write it down. I thought it'd be helpful to have something to look at.
And then did you include the guidelines?
I
The
did
guiding
not put
principles?
those in those. No, I'm so
Okay.
sorry. I forgot to add them
Okay,
to them.
no, don't be, that's fine. I just want to make sure that I know, so when I put stuff together to send to the few committee members, subcommittee members, that they can have that to work from. Okay. Did you see the guiding principles yet, Jessica? Probably not.
No.
Okay, good. Well, I'll get that to you.
I love this. This is great. Thank you.
Yay.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you
that's awesome.
very much.
That looks good.
All right.
All right,
Yeah.
so my plan with that, I guess, is just to try to move it onto Google Sheets. That way we can have you guys the ability to go in and add things as well. And then we'll just start posting.
Sounds great. It's really exciting.
Yay.
Oh, I was going to look and see participants. We have Hillary. Brenner is our only public person out there. Should I allow her to talk? Hey, Hillary.
I know her.
I know. Hillary's one of our other wonderful marketing team. Do you want to say hi, even though we can't see you?
Hi, everybody.
Hillary.
Tell them what you do.
Oh my.
Oh
Well,
my.
it depends. In regular
rolls.
life, I work in marketing at the Tacoma Dome in the convention center, but during COVID, gosh, a little bit of everything.
Oh my gosh. Kidding. So yeah, she works on the website for the convention center and for the Tacoma Dome, right? And she rolls socks and t-shirts for the when there's a concert. Or she
Cool.
directs interns on rolling socks and t-shirts for the the crew, the massive crews that come with the big bands.
And
the
she's
big
just a
rock
wealth
bands.
of knowledge. If I
Yes.
don't know anything, Hillary usually knows. And
Yep.
you are the foundation that keeps us going.
It's true. It's so true.
Oh, you guys are so
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you.
That is our public comment.
I'm going to mute myself now so I don't accidentally talk anymore.
Yeah, gotcha.
Thanks for staying under 3 minutes there, Hillary.
I know
You're welcome.
we're going kind of long. I think I know what items to add for future agendas for you guys to review. So yeah. And you don't need to vote on the adjourn. You just have to ask for a motion, Adela.
Okay. A motion to end the meeting.
You moved.
I second.
So moved.
I moved to motion. Yes, sorry.
That's what I always do too.
There you go.
Awesome. Well, thank you, everybody. I appreciate you all sticking in there. Thank you.